Now, Unite for Vets, I have the privilege to introduce our next leader. He has over 30 years of service in the United States Navy. He has commanded ships, led operations globally, and now he is looking to shape the future of our nation's security through action, not just words. Please welcome to the stage a sailor, a strategist, and a statesman, Rear Admiral Michael Smith.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Smith. I'm the founder and president of National Security Leaders for America. We're a bipartisan pro-democracy organization that's made up of over 1,300 retired admirals and generals and senior enlisted, former ambassadors and cabinet secretaries and senior executives. Collectively, our members represent centuries of service to this country. Service that was forged through sacrifice, experience, and hard-earned lessons learned. And the most important of those lessons is this: when a nation breaks its promises with its veterans, it does more than betray its values. It weakens its security, and it undermines the readiness of its future armed forces. This is not an academic discussion for me. I stand here not only as a retired Rear Admiral. More importantly, I'm the son of a Vietnam veteran. I'm the son-in-law, the nephew, the brother-in-law, and the brother of Navy and Marine Corps veterans. Like many of you here, my life was shaped by the service and sacrifice of generations of veterans. My father served in the Navy. He served until early 1980s. I remember when I was at the Naval Academy, I called him to talk to him about fleet readiness for his ships for a paper I was writing. The answers to his questions were sobering. His ships were undermanned, they were underfunded, and they were struggling. It wasn't due to the commitment of its sailors. It wasn't due to poor leadership. It's because the nation had turned its back on veterans. The public mood after Vietnam had shifted, and support for the military had faded. That conversation stayed with me. It was my first personal introduction to a national trend that unfortunately we've seen repeat over and over again. Our veterans return from Korea to silence. They return from Vietnam to scorn. These men and women didn't ask for parades. They needed care and opportunity and dignity. Instead, they were forgotten. The institutions they needed to rely upon were gutted or ignored. It took hard work and national leadership to turn that tide. During my time in service, our country started to learn from its lessons. It reinvested in its armed forces. It renewed its commitments. And it made a promise to future generations that if you raised your hand and volunteered to serve, your nation would always have your back. That was never more important than after the terrorist attacks on 9/11. We saw a new generation raise their hands, volunteer to serve in what would become the longest war in American history. Those young Americans believed in something essential. They believed that their country had their and their families' backs, that they would not become the next forgotten generation. And now, I stand here ashamed. I stand here in disbelief. I stand here shaking in rage because it appears our country is breaking its promises. We are hearing of proposals to gut the VA, to fire thousands of veterans from civil service, to politicize their positions that they earned. We're seeing the slow erosion of support being replaced by indifference, or worse, contempt. The fading echoes of "thank you for your service" are being drowned out by a new message that maybe veterans are, and I quote, "not fit to have a job." If together we can't stop this now, we risk repeating the mistakes we swore we would never make again. You know, after World War I, General John Pershing said of the fallen, "Time must not dim the glory of their deeds." That quote must apply not only to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, it must apply to those who've gone into harm's way. Let us not forget. Let us not repeat history's failures. And together, let us ensure that time does not dim the glory and the obligations their deeds demand.
Thank you, Michael Smith.